Hey, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing all right.
Good.
Only medium crazy this week.
Yeah. All right. How are you doing in the class overall? How was the last exam for you?
I'm not sure that I've even looked at the grades yet.
Yeah.
Did they come in like today or yesterday?
No, for the exam, I have no idea. But I'm just wondering how you felt about it.
Oh, I know I messed up the last part, but I did the first, like all of the, and now I'm gonna blank on what they're called. All of the pivot tables, I did fine. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I mucked up the last part though. I'm thinking actually I'm gonna meet with them next week and be like, "Hi, let's just pretend we're doing this together."
All right.
I'm I seem to be having some difficulty with application when they kind of spin it around a little bit.
Yeah, they really do throw things completely differently than what they taught. It's really frustrating.
Exactly. And it doesn't help that I'm dyslexic.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. So they're kind of playing into my learning challenges.
Right.
Where I'm like, yeah, I think I should know what you're talking about, and I have at least a somewhat of an idea of how I could kind of head in that direction, but I'll get kind of part way or it'll and I'm like, and now I don't know how to go from here.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I get they want us to understand the material well enough so that we can apply it in lots of different ways. But if you're really not going to model what you're asking us to do, you're asking, I don't know. I get it. It's a senior level class, but
Not, I don't even feel like it's even a senior level class that's the problem. I just feel like it's a poorly designed class.
I thought they were trying to treat it like a senior level class. But no, I'm unimpressed with the organization and the design in several areas.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna be happy when I pass this class, if I'm gonna be honest. This is the only class where I've ever had that mentality. Simply because the what they teach doesn't always make sense in the context that they test it in.
Exactly. Well, how far are you on this?
I'm almost done. I messed up on one part where they were just trying to make it stupid because they do that, they just make it difficult for no reason. So, the part where they're like, "Oh, use buttons instead of a drop down menu."
Yes. Yes. I
Well,
just finished that.
yeah. Well, I didn't use buttons at first. I used a option box or whatever it's called. So now I'm going through and making a section where I use this instead, the buttons.
Oh, you used.
A combo box instead because it made more
Oh,
sense than having corn, potato, squash, tomato, like, and then having to click the button. That doesn't really make that much sense. But
no, it would have been much more elegant with a combo box. Yes.
yeah, it was actually. As I'm comparing the two side by side, it makes much more sense to have a combo box.
It probably looks more professional too. But
It does. It does. Okay, now I just have to. I wonder if I can just copy and paste these over. I think. Yeah. Nope. Oh, no.
I think I sent the invite to Barclays the wrong address, so I'm looking back on my text messages going, oh yeah, it's on here somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Well, with all of the traveling and everything, I've been using too many different computers. So I have stuff on the laptop. I have stuff on my husband's laptop. I have stuff on the main computer.
That's intense.
So it's just kind of, well, basically we, the end of finals is the 27th and we're moving on the 31st.
Oh,
I have
wow.
hit completely nutcase.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to instruct the children how to like pack and what, because we're just doing a partial right now, most of the stuff. My husband's retiring from the Air Force.
Very cool, very cool.
It is. And so he's stuck here until like close to Thanksgiving probably. But the kids and I have to get to Washington through the summer so that I can get everybody else, registered for school and all that good stuff.
Right.
Ugh. But my parents are going on a mission for 2 years, so they said, hey, come live in our house as long as you take care of the yard, because my husband has a really great green thumb. Let your husband work his magic on the yard and take care of the house and pay the utilities. You can live here. Awesome.
That's pretty cool.
It is, because the first couple of years you don't know as an airline pilot. First of all, he doesn't know what airline he's going to get hired onto.
Right.
And depending on which one hires him will decide where we're going to live.
Right. Very true.
But you aren't going to have a domicile for a year and a half or 2 years anyway.
What's a domicile?
Your home base.
Oh.
So basically living in my parents' house is giving us the chance to find out where the heck are we going to be.
Right.
Sorry, I sent it to the wrong email, Barkley. I've been playing on too many computers. My life is officially chaotic.
Oh, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Did anyone else get their butt kicked on this last exam?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't gotten a score. Go ahead.
And now it's
the hard thing that I had was that I couldn't get it organized right to be able to put it into a pivot table at the very beginning when it says you're going to have to organize it to be able to make it easier to use as pivot table. I couldn't do that. And so I had like all of these random things that just did not work and flow together, and it just was all over the place. And then, so when doing it, you're supposed to use, I can't remember what formula, but I was using the formula. I think it was something ifs, some ifs or something like that, count ifs, right?
Yep.
To be able to count all of it. It just, for some reason, I could not get count ifs to work. So every time it would either be a hashtag, I would be missing something, or whatever that's called, or it would just show as 0. And I knew that the answer wasn't 0. I was getting so frustrated. I ended up having to submit it with all, like, I had the equations and I had it all set up nice, but everything was wrong. So we'll see what happens.
It was too. The only thing that I couldn't figure out was when he asked us to do averages, and it kept coming back as div 0. And I looked it up, because everything was set in text form, apparently. I don't know, but I couldn't figure out. So, and then the last part where it was like, come up with this ridiculously long equation to pull this stuff in. I was able to get 2 of them, but ran out of time on the third.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I jacked up the last part too. I was like, yeah, I think it was similar to your problems, Barkley. I was writing the count ifs and this really, really long equation, and it looked like it should be right, but I had like 3 different error codes, and I was like, seriously?
Yeah. And I even went back to the videos, and like I did exactly as the video said, and my formula was exactly what it showed in the videos, and nothing. Like it still wasn't working. So I was just like, whatever, I'm done.
Fine.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I hate about this class the most. And to be completely honest, like I'm probably gonna try and do something about it. Is just because you can put all the time in the world, but if you don't understand one tiny little thing, none of the equation's gonna work, and you're gonna get an F on it.
Yeah.
I mean, one tiny little thing can be wrong. And what's wonderful about this class is his office hours are at the beginning of the week. So there's no way for you to go over information before a mini project with them if you haven't started on it on a Monday.
Yeah.
And if you have any other classes, that may not work.
No, it doesn't. I mean, we all have lives, we have jobs. This isn't the only class we're taking. So it's just a terribly designed class. And what's sucky is like I think all of our degrees are basically dependent on this class. So if you don't pass this class, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I was sitting there and I was just like, I mean, it was one thing if it was a mini project, but this was an exam, and exams are huge points. Like, so I was sitting there, I was like, this is gonna kill me. So
like ridiculously high point. So if you screw up, like I'm not gonna lie, I screwed up one of the exams and it dropped me like 9 points.
yeah. Yeah. My first two exams, I was in the 90s. My second, I got a 71%, and I dropped down to a low B. I was in the A's and got down to a low B. It just killed me.
I can't remember if it was exam 2 or if it was exam 3, and I was like, ouch.
Yeah. Exam 3 got me. Like it killed me. I didn't understand it apparently. So
yeah.
I wrote.
What's frustrating is like all these A's in the homework, and you think you must be, and I'll even go back and do it a couple of times just to make sure I feel like I really have it.
Yeah.
And then you get to the mini project and maybe you're still okay, but then you get to the exam and you're like, wait a minute, what?
Right. It's completely different.
It's like you've gone from apples to oranges between the sometimes between the lesson and the mini.
Right. Like this lesson was really easy because it actually focused on what I'm trying to get a degree in instead of all this useless stuff that I'm never actually going to use.
Right.
Like this is actually what I'm going to do with my degree. So that's good. It was very easy.
Yeah. No, and I mean, it is what it is, right? But
I just hope I don't fail. He doesn't fail me because I did write something in there where it was like, despite what the syllabus says, these tests are designed to make us fail. Yeah. I said that. So we'll see because I mean, I could back that up with proof. The fact that he changes things that aren't explained sets you up for failure.
Yeah. And like you guys said, I mean, you'll be taught all these things, and even in mini projects and in this homework, you'll be taught these things, and then you'll get into the exam and you have like it'll have this just like one ridiculous question that says, all right, now you have to figure out your own equation, and you're sitting there and you're like, oh, well, okay, and you're just supposed to figure it out yourself, kind of a deal.
You're just supposed to make it up. Yeah, you're just supposed to make it up, even though it hasn't been modeled.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're just really all over this class, just ready for it to be done.
Yeah, I'm pretty ready. Has anyone looked at exam 5? Well, I guess we aren't supposed to talk about it, but does it look like it's going to be difficult?
I don't know, man. I haven't even garnered the thought.
Yeah, I'm afraid that this is just going to be one massively epic fail of a final exam.
I need to pass it because if I don't pass this class, I can't graduate. So
yeah. All right. Well, so looking at mini project 17, I mean, it looks pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't look too awful.
No, I'm done. It's easy.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'm down to the last part. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do now.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I wish I could have done it this afternoon, but I found out that my fiance's mom hurt her back pretty bad, and we had to travel up here to Pocatello and take care of my fiance's sisters while she kind of started healing. So,
geez.
Yeah.
Did she just throw it out, or did she fall, or what happened?
Well, she was trying to set up a 60-inch screen TV onto a pretty high platform, and it fell, and she tried to catch it and just really got her back good. Yeah, but she's doing better. We just had to take the girls to like the swimming pool and just get them out of the home so that she could just relax. But
Sure.
yeah, this
Okay.
mini this mini project doesn't look terrible though.
No. All right, Christian. So what is it asking me to do here in 3?
Yeah, hold on. In 3, boom. Let's see. Oh, it just wants you to be able to put in a place. Honestly, all I did was on the option button sheet, I put total land available, and then I did what I got the max of, which was 52272 square feet, and then he can go on there and change that, so he can put it to 6,000 or 60,000. So when he goes back on the data sheet, he can hit just redo the calculation. He can just redo solver, and it will give it based on the total area, if that makes sense. Because he only has 1.2 acres, right? So
Yes.
I did the math, and 1.2 acres is 52,272 square feet.
Yes, that's what I've got.
So what it seems like he wants is for him to be like, oh, well, I can actually do 1.3 acres. So what's that? Oh, okay, well, it's 60,000 square feet. So you plug that into the dashboard, and then it'll change it on my data sheet. So it says 60,000, then you just go up to solver, hit solve again based on that criteria. Because right now it's solving based on total land available, total area, as well as the number of plants available. Does that make sense? So the only criteria that would change is total area available. And so that would change the rest of the calculations. So I can go and type in 60,000 square feet. I go back over here. I go back up to solver, which is in
Can you share your screen so I can see what you're?
This is on my cell phone, but I can.
Oh, okay. No, just so
this.
total land available.
Crap. You still there? Yeah, you're still there.
Yeah, still here.
All right, here. So I'll just kind of turn my screen around if that'll go away. Perfect. So on my option buttons, I just inputted that. So when I go into data sheet, that's what it equals. So all I have to do is go up to solver, hit OK, and it will change everything. Does that make sense? So now when I go back over here, all of this data is different. Or should be. But yeah, it is. So now
so you have it hooked up so it'll change all of the things from the.
Yeah, but you still have to go back over to the data sheet and hit solver because it won't do it on its own. See, so I have total limit here, and then I have, if you see it, I summed all of them up. So I said that cannot be greater than that. It has to be less than or equal to.
Yes.
So I actually added a whole new column for land because that was one of the requirements. That just kind of made sense to me.
Hey, so quick question on question 1. Sorry, I'm really behind. On question 1, it's having us to go to just the original sheet, right? And it's wanting us to make it so that the quantity to be planted is the maximum, right?
For maximum profit.
Yeah, for maximum profit. Do you have to create like total profit and total all of those things before you can do that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did
Okay.
total area, I did total profit, and then I created a whole new column for land used.
Okay. And then when you put that into the solver, the total profit is the one that's, oh, what's it
You're
called?
trying to max out. Yeah, that's going to be your
Yeah.
main
So that'll be the set objective, and then the changing variable cells will just be the
total
quantity to be
area,
planted.
total area, and the quantity. Yeah. Well,
And
okay, yeah.
can you
So
just highlight them
quantity.
all? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say quantity planted is how much is what's going to change, but the requirements or whatever is going to be total area, and then um, the plants, the number of plants that you can get from the supplier.
Oh, I gotcha. Are you talking about the constraints?
Yeah. That one.
Okay, I gotcha. Great. And can you do that all in just one, or do you have to do each individual cell? You have to do that, or can it be
First,
all? It can
I did
go ahead.
each individual cell.
Okay.
I did some individual and I did some collective. I think there's a couple of different ways you can do it. I think I did mine slightly different. But it came out to my total square feet used / available, where it couldn't go above that. So that's what you're talking about, where if I change that number and then I hit solver again, my 52,272 square feet.
Okay. So So do you have to change the formulas in the to be determined cells under total? Like, do you have to create formulas?
You should empty them.
So I have a formula in total profit, obviously, because you have to have a formula in the main one. So
Right,
I
total
just did,
profit.
yeah,
Go
total
ahead.
profit. And then I have one in my land used. So for land used, I just did the quantity times the ground. So F5 times C5, drag that all the way down, and then I summed it at the bottom for total land used. So as one of the constraints, it won't go over 1.2 acres.
Right.
I made a separate thing for max square feet of corn that could be used, and I did it slightly differently, but it's very similar.
Hold on here. So I'm going to show my screen real quick. If that's okay. And
Yep.
just let me know what I'm doing here, just to make sure I'm doing it right. No, not showcase. Screen share. Okay, you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Right. So for total profit, right, it's just whatever this is multiplied by whatever this is, right?
Yep, and then you just do that plus the next one, plus the next one, plus the next one, all the way down.
Oh, okay, that's a long equation. I mean, not hard, but long.
Yeah, it's long. I mean, each individual one, you have to multiply it, then add it to the next, then multiply it, then add it to the next.
Okay, I gotcha. Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I wish there was a way that you could just, it knows what you're doing now, kind of thing.
I wish, but I haven't figured that out yet.
Oh. if I do this, hold on. Then enter, right? You have that. And then you just do solver. And then you go, this needs to be this, right? And then changing these. So this needs to be all of these.
Let's see. Yeah, so I did that individually for the less than stuff. I did land used has to be less than 4,000. This land used had to be less than 1,500. This one
Right.
less than 6. Yeah.
But for the changing variable cells, it's just all of those cells. But then you have to do that individually. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh no. So the changing. Oh yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And then
Right.
to add, so you do
Yeah.
constraints. This cell needs to be less than or equal to this cell, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then I just did that. Then you hit add, and then you do it
So,
again. Hit add. Do it again.
gotcha. Okay.
And then for the final one, you just so I summed all the land used, and I said that sum cannot be more than 1.2 acres, which is 52,272 square feet.
Gotcha.
And then you are good to go.
So do I need to calculate that, or do I just type in that?
I summed it up at the bottom for the land used.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. I think I got it all. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. And I'm just gonna solve that real quick until.
So both of you, I got total land used was 52,272, so it used all of it, and then the max profit I got was 29,010 cents.
I think that's what I had until I started messing around with trying to add this new last part in. Just a sec.
So just really quick, looking at what I have right now. So you summed it all up, right? This is the sum of all of the land used. 94.
Well,
I have 94,000.
yeah, because you didn't go through and tell it that the land used cannot be more than
The 52,272.
Right. So I go to
Yeah.
solver. So another constraint, and this. So this cannot be
greater than.
It can be greater than or equal to that 52.
It was set on the right one. It has to be less than or equal to 52,000. Yeah, it was set on the right one.
Where do I click after that on the constraint on this cell?
So you had to add that in somewhere. You had to type in total area available.
Oh, I gotcha. So like, I'm just gonna do it right here for now. Total area available. And it's what?
52,272. So 52,272.
Okay, I gotcha. And then solver add this is less than or equal to this, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And then you might have to do one more where the 52,272 stays an integer, because at first it tried to give me.
Yep. Yeah, you have to add it as an integer.
So add another one.
So this needs to be an integer?
Yes.
Integer. Okay. Integer constraint cell reference must include only variable cells.
Yeah, so don't do that. Go through and click all of the land used. So, or quantity planted. Do all the quantity planted.
Right.
And then type in that has to be an integer. So
Oh, I
not
gotcha.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
I gotcha. So solver, add, and all of these
Yes.
need to be in integers.
Yeah,
Okay. And then solve?
Yes.
Yep.
So I've got 29,010 cents.
Same.
Okay.
Now, just looking at mine, does that look correct?
Yep, you're good.
Good, 29,010 cents.
Yep, now you just have to create the dashboard. So make sure you don't do what I did and do what actually makes more sense than the instructions, because I did a combo box, which makes a lot more sense and it's a lot more clean.
It's
But
elegant.
he wants,
Yeah, but it's wrong.
exactly. He wants option buttons. So you can click on corn and all the information will come up, or potatoes and all the information will come up. So
Oh, it had option buttons? We've done that
yeah,
before?
so
Yeah, from on developer.
yeah, because we did the control last week before the exam. There was the video was like 15 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah, no, I need to go through that again because I didn't really give all the effort on those that I should have. So I need to go through that again.
Yeah,
But
you just have the beginning part is important. Well, not the beginning part. Like, you know how it usually is. Like 5 minutes in is important where he goes through index and then he'll go through the buttons. And the buttons plus the index equation is what you want.
Okay. And I can do that on my own time. I can just go through that. And is that the only other difficult part? Like you have to create the dashboard?
Yeah, that's it.
Have to get the game.
I'm busy, buddy. Hold on.
Okay, bye,
So
Mom.
on number three, it says the faculty member is also considering purchasing more land. So on the dashboard, also include an input cell that allows him to enter the total amount of land he will farm for profit.
So
is that
what it is? I linked my dashboard to the data sheet. So in that area where it says total land available, it links it to my dashboard. So I can change it to 60,000 square feet. And then all I have to go back and hit solve, and it will resolve using 60,000 instead of 52,000. It's easy.
Oh, I gotcha. And then so what they're wanting is just that they can change it on the actual data sheet, and then it'll show on the other sheet?
Right.
Okay, I gotcha.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Oh, can you message me this?
Yes.
Thank you. You just
Sure.
shoot me an email.
Well, I think I put the link in for but is that the Hangout, not the recording?
Oh yeah, you actually. Oh, that's for the Hangouts. Yeah, not the recording, I think.
Okay. All right, I'll hit stop and figure it out.
All right, thank you.